This NFL offseason is going to have another quarterback carousel. But before we get to the quarterbacks, let's talk about head coaches. Right now, which head coaching gig do you think is the most attractive?
Well, they're all open for a reason, which means they didn't have a good season. But there's 5 openings. Only 2 of those have a good quarterback. So we go from there. Now, do you like Kyler Murray or do you want Russell Wilson? I think the Broncos the most attractive job because Russell Wilson, I don't think he's done yet. Super Bowl trophy. You've got new ownership there with the Walmart family. Very deep pockets. We know that. They're going to pay you. The Broncos haven't been to the playoffs in 7 years. Bar very low. And you had the number 1 defense for most of the year last year with the Broncos. So a lot of pieces are in place to make that an attractive job.
So are you saying that Russell Wilson's a better quarterback than Kyler Murray?
If I'm a head coach and I want to win now, yes.
Interesting. I do think it was interesting how people were saying in the locker room that Kyler Murray has become a quote-unquote monster. That would not be easy to take over as a head coach.
No, and no skins on the wall. With Russell has one.
That's true. Good point. The MVP candidates are officially announced, and no surprise, 0 running backs among them. So my question to you is, if you had to pick the best running back in the league this season, who would it be?
Do I have to pick one?
Yes, of course.
I mean, the running back, the days of Emmitt Smith, having 25 rushing touchdowns, 2,000 yards, and 300 carries, gone.
Okay.
This year just further dilutes the importance of the running back. So, top 3 running backs this year. You got Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb. What do they all have in common? None of them made the playoffs. It's another sign that we just piece together running backs, and it's so situational. No running back this year averaged 100 yards a game. We have no 1,700-yard rushers. So the best running back, I mean, by default, I don't know. You know who I'm most impressed with is Jamal Williams of the Detroit Lions.
Interesting.
You score 17 rushing touchdowns for the Lions and have them on the verge of the playoffs. Like, give it to him as good as anybody else.
I'm going with Christian McCaffrey. Totally changed the trajectory of the 49ers.
Most versatile, for sure. When he's healthy, he's probably the best.
All right. Bill O'Brien returns to the New England Patriots. He is going to be the new offensive coordinator, and quarterback Mac Jones is reportedly very happy about that. Do you like this hire?
Yes. I mean, I think you and I could do a better job as Matt Patricia and Joe Judge last year.
I mean, I don't know if I could.
The Patriots were abysmal on offense. They scored 17. That's 1 per game by my math.
Right.
Fewer offensive touchdowns this year than last year. Mac Jones, we saw visibly upset during every game, screaming, throwing a temper tantrum. The Patriots' offense was horrible. And this is Bill Belichick saying, through his actions, not his words ever, because he's Bill Belichick, but saying, you know what, my experiment failed miserably, we got to fix it. So Bill O'Brien, who's familiar with, of course, Alabama's system, which is Nick Saban's system, which is Bill Belichick's system, and which is Mac Jones' system. So there's going to be some familiarity. It brings a name. It brings a guy who's entrenched in the system. Mac Jones is happy, and honestly, it couldn't be worse with Matt Patricia.
Yeah. Do you think with Bill O'Brien, Mac Jones is going to be able to take that next step forward?
He's got to take the next step forward to get back to where he was, right? Because Pro Bowl rookie year and second year with high hopes for him. But then Josh McDaniels leaves for the Raiders, and all of a sudden it implodes. He took a big step back last year, as all the Patriots did. So he's got to take that step back to get to where he was. And Bill O'Brien, there's some, again, familiarity there with the Alabama system, so I expect him to do that.
The Dallas Cowboys kicked out of the playoffs by the San Francisco 49ers. The Buffalo Bills kicked out by the Cincinnati Bengals. Between Dak Prescott and Josh Allen, who are you more disappointed with?
Well, there's enough disappointment for a couple months there, isn't there? So with Dak,
especially with Josh Allen being the MVP favorite to start the season,
right? And that's why I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to get to Josh Allen, but to Dak Prescott, again, was his performance disappointing? Yes, but take a step back from what he did, which was throw 2 really bad interceptions. But it was against the NFL's best defense. It was on the road. He did lose Tony Pollard, one of his biggest weapons, during the game. So there's a little leeway there for his performance. Whereas Josh Allen, we've talked about him all year, MVP candidate, Super Bowl favorite. I mean, the bar was, you couldn't even see it. It was
so
like,
is Josh Allen going to usurp Patrick Mahomes
Right.
as the best.
And they've got home field advantage. They've even got the storybook motivation of the DeMar Hamlin story. It all set up for Josh Allen, and then it was even a snow Buffalo type game. Everything was set up, and then he didn't play horrible, but you put up 10 points at home in a playoff game and lose. I think more was expected of Josh Allen in his game than Dak in his game, although playing for America's team, you're always going to get the criticism, and Boise ever getting it.
Yeah. For a lot of people who watch the Super Bowl, it's a little bit less about the football and more about the entertainment.
Yeah.
And this year's entertainment lineup is pretty incredible. Between Rihanna playing halftime, Chris Stapleton singing the national anthem. What are your thoughts on these two?
I think if you can't find something to like about this year's musical entertainment, you should probably just unplug and go to an island somewhere, because you've got such diversity.
Yeah.
I mean, polar opposites.
Right.
You got Chris Stapleton singing about Tennessee whiskey, and you've
Right.
got Rihanna singing about, what is it, diamonds and umbrellas, and I mean, you've got to find something that'll tickle your fancy, right? So, I mean, props to the NFL. They, they know we've got a diverse audience, and let's give them a diverse offering. So, listen up. There's something you'll like if you watch the whole game.
Not to mention, Chris Stapleton has one of the most insane voices of all time. So I'm interested to see how long that national anthem will go. That's always like a bet that you can make is, okay, will it go over however many seconds?
I'm going to say it's going to go a bottle and a half.